I just want everyone to know that I'm heartbroken too. I'm sad too about Senator Bernie Sanders dropping out of this race. But what I want people to know is that you care about healthcare. You care about justice and equity. You care about marginalized people. You care about making sure everyone deserves to be treated with dignity and respect. And that has not changed. So to stay inspired is to stay committed to your values. Your values do not end at Senator Bernie Sanders. They don't end at a political campaign.
While we are winning the ideological battle, and while we are winning the support of so many young people and working people throughout the country, I have concluded that this battle for the Democratic nomination will not be successful.
Bernie Sanders and the movement behind him knew that it was going to be an uphill battle. The fact that we have an unbought and unbossed, unapologetic progressive who was going to go all in on Medicare for All and cancellation of student debt and stand up for Palestinian human rights, we already knew that was an obstacle. People need to remember that Senator Bernie Sanders is still on the ballot. And while, he has obviously stepped down from the race, being able to vote for Bernie and continue to allow him to amass some of the delegates will allow us to influence Joe Biden and the platform of the DNC. Joe Biden needs to sit and reflect on, winning this election, what it means and how much at stake there is for us to win this election. And in order to do that, we're going to have to bring along Muslim American communities who overwhelmingly supported Senator Bernie Sanders, young people who overwhelmingly supported Senator Bernie Sanders, Latino communities in places like Nevada who supported Senator Bernie Sanders. So Biden has to understand there has to be some sort of negotiation and some sort of concessions. And actually, I don't think they're a concession. I think they're, in fact, issues that could really boost Joe Biden's campaign, and also things that I hope he believes in. I hope that after this pandemic, you believe that everybody deserves access to healthcare in America.
Clearly, the immediate crisis, the most pressing crisis that we face, is to make certain right now that anyone whose life is being threatened by the coronavirus gets the best medical care possible.
I think that the Bernie or bust movement has been highly and overly exaggerated. We saw the numbers in the 2016 elections that many folks that support Bernie Sanders did vote, in fact, for Hillary Clinton. And I think that same is going to happen this time around. This time around in 2020 is not the lesser of two evils. This is about fascism or not fascism. I understand as a Muslim American that I have everything at stake, and the communities that I come from have everything at stake. So I will support whomever becomes the Democratic nominee. And right now, that presumptive nominee is Joe Biden. Voting for someone like Joe Biden doesn't mean that you're just going to let Joe Biden ride for 4 years. You are going to hold him accountable. And I am committing myself to protesting, to building power, to influencing a Joe Biden administration, if that's what we get, to be better on the issues that impact our communities. The progressive movement is going to continue to be a movement. We were supporting Senator Bernie Sanders because of his agenda, because of the issues that we've all been working on, some for decades. And so that's where I'm going. I'm going to fight for Medicare for All, for a Green New Deal, for a just foreign policy, to legalize marijuana and end mass incarceration. We just have to pivot. And that's what we do as movement folks. And I hope people understand that this is the moment where we're just going to have to reshift and reorganize the way in which we're going to participate.
Bernie knows that systematic change in this country has never taken place without millions of people organizing to demand that change.
Bernie Sanders proved that you can run a grassroots campaign and win in an America where we almost thought it was impossible.
I am so excited about just who he is and what he represents and how much he's inspired someone like me, knowing that I, being in Congress, is possible.
There are so many achievements of the Bernie Sanders campaign that I'm so proud of, including the first time ever the caucusing at mosques in Iowa, watching the enthusiasm of Muslim voters in Dearborn, watching the great turnout of Latino caucusers and workers in Nevada. And that big win that we had in California, there were just so many highlights, and the big turnouts at rallies, and the ways in which Senator Bernie Sanders mainstreamed our issues. Like we're talking about Medicare for All in a way we haven't ever talked about Medicare for All, and cancellation of student debt. In fact, proposing those things at this time. And that is all because of the bold, brave consistency and persistency of Senator Bernie Sanders and his supporters.